Many students were inconvenienced today with the closure of a Sunday school in the capital city. The heads of the Sunday school said that the actions of a principal led to the closure.
Students in many areas, including Nogegoda, arrived at the Sri Revata Sunday School in Gangodavilla, Nogegoda today. Though the children arrived at the Sunday School for religious education, they had to idle away their time until an atmosphere suitable for studies was set. The reason behind this was that the gates and the classrooms of the Sri Revata Royal College, where the Sunday School is being conducted, were closed today as per the instructions of the school principal.
The
Sunday school started before the school. This Sunday school is 110 years old. This is the third oldest Sunday school in Sri Lanka, which was founded by Sir Olcott and Anagarika Dharmapala. After the Sunday school was built with the help of the Paramavidyatra Buddhist Association, these buildings were used to start a school in the area.
පරමඥානාර්ථ බෞද්ධ සංගමේ සහයෝගය ලබාගෙන ප්‍රදේශයට ඉස්කෝලයක් වශයෙන් අරගෙන මේක පාවිච්චි කළා.
Accordingly, the Sri Revata Royal College in Nogegoda commenced at this location. The school is built on a land that belongs to Subhadharama Atula Rajama Vihara in Gangodavilla, Nogegoda. The chief incumbent said that since then, all principals who served at the school rendered their fullest support for the Sunday school to be conducted at the premises.
When the
new principal assumed duties, I explained history to him. All of a sudden, the classrooms were closed last week, and this week the security guard has been instructed not to open the gates. We regret that the principal is acting in this manner while being a Buddhist. The chief incumbent further noted that all facilities required for over 300 children to study at the Sunday school is provided by the temple. He went on to say that the students of the Sunday school always clean the school premises after their lessons and prepare the classrooms for the following day's work.
We learnt a lot from this Sunday school, and there is more that we need to gain. We will lose a lot if we don't have the Sunday school.
It is unfair that the school is closed. The Sunday school teaches children to be good citizens of the society. We are asking the authorities to open their eyes and look into this problem. The school's main gate was opened with the intervention of Zonal Education Director of Sri Jayawardenapura, Ashoka Senani Hevage. The chief incumbent said that the classrooms were also opened thereafter and they were able to conduct the Sunday school for a few hours. When contacted, the Zonal Education Director said that several buildings of the school will be made available for the Sunday school in the future.
Floods that were triggered by heavy rains in several parts of the island are receding. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, says 6,196 displaced persons continue to remain at 40 relief centres.
89,310 individuals belonging to 299 families were affected in the Batticaloa district, which was the worst affected by floods. The Disaster Management Centre says that nearly 50,000 persons are sheltered in camps. The stretch of road from the Sithandi main road to Thamaripu junction and the Kiran Toppigala road remains inundated. The flood borders in many areas of the Ampara district have not receded as yet. According to our correspondent, vehicular traffic on the Samanturai Karathivu road was disrupted as 3 locations on the road remain inundated. Motorists were inconvenienced further when the Mavadipalli bridge was hit by floods. Tractor owners charged 100 rupees from a passenger to cross this bridge, which is 50 meters long. The Kittangi main road in Kalmune, Ampara is also inundated. All 10 spill gates of the Paragrama Samudra, which were opened by 9 inches each, were closed today. Officials took measures to close the spill gates of the Kaudula Reservoir as well this afternoon, which were opened by 1.5 feet each. With flood waters receding, residents of Madiragiri were seen fishing by the waterways.
Well, today the News First team had the opportunity to view the scenic landscapes of the country from the skies.
In line with the 100th anniversary of aviation in Sri Lanka, 100 children were given the special opportunity to view the beauty of the country from the sky. The News First team also joined the tour in order to give our viewers a glimpse of some rare sights from above the ground.
We took to the skies on this aircraft today. Let's explore the interior of the plane.
This is the UL001 A320 aircraft which was used for the journey.
The captain explained the route of the journey to us.
We will be flying over Kandy and Bandarawela to the Mattala airport. You will be able to see the runway there. The flight that took off from Katunayaka first headed towards Kandy. The flight also flew above the Bandarawela area. This is the manner in which the Central Hills, the Victoria and Randanagala reservoirs looked from 11,000 feet above the ground. This is the Seven Virgin Hills, also known as the Saptakanya Hills, where the deadliest plane crash in Sri Lanka took place. The aircraft, which descended from 11,000 feet to 6,000 feet from above ground level, approached the Mattala International Airport.
We can now see the Mattala airport from 300 feet above the ground. What you can see right now is the runway of the second international airport in Sri Lanka from the cockpit of the plane.
300. Okay.
I should be okay now.
The Mattala International Airport is another significant milestone in Sri Lanka's 100-year-old aviation history. We were able to witness the Hambantota harbour from the skies. The flight, which made its way over the southern capital Galle, arrived at the Katunayaka International Airport after a 1.5-hour journey in the sky.
Minimum 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 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 5.
Well, it was News First Aina Vikramasinghe who filed this report. Now moving on to other local news, Secretary to the President Lalit Thiriratana says that education must be free of politicisation. He expressed this view at an event held in Colombo today.
The Golden Jubilee event, organised to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the 1963 class of the Arts Faculty of the University of Ceylon, was held today. The celebrations included felicitating lecturers who taught in the faculty from 1963 to 1966 and the granting of scholarships to 15 current students. Today we must have a symposium where we can extensively discuss university education without party divisions. I have always believed that education must be free of politicization at all levels. I do not have to specifically say to you that if our opposition and our government are unable to commence a dialogue on education, then we will face massive deterioration. We can see a massive deterioration.
UNP parliamentarian Buddhika Patharana says education has the power to change the country, the village and the individual. He made this statement at an event held in Mathura today.
The event was organised by the Samadhi Community Development Foundation to distribute school equipment and books to school students from low-income families in the Mathura district.
මේ රටේ අධ්‍යාපනයට පුළුවන් මිනිස්සෙක් වෙනස් කරන්න. අධ්‍යාපනයට පුළුවන් රට වෙනස් කරන්න.
Education can change the individual in this country. Education can change the country. Education can change the village. Education can introduce a new chapter in the reality and nature of human life. That is why we speak on education so much in Parliament. That is why we go outside Parliament to the villages and work for education. Because I have seen and I can see that education can affect change.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවෙන් එළියට ඉන්න ගම්වල ඒ අධ්‍යාපනයේට ඒ වෙනස කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා මම දැකපු නිසා දකින්න නිසා.
An awareness meeting organized by the UNP was held in central Colombo yesterday under the auspices of Western Provincial Councillor Mujibur Rahman.
ආණ්ඩු වෙනස් වෙන ප්‍රතිවරණ දෙකක් ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දේ එන්න තියෙනවා මේ රටේ.
Two elections which will change governments are to be held in this country next year. The government knows that if they continue this way, their voter base will crumble and they will be unable to face the next election. Now the government is using a new mechanism to create trouble in the country again. Today there are groups using various names which are conspiring to create conflict between the Sinhalese and the Muslims. Minister Wimal Weerawansa does not say anything about this. This is not an international conspiracy. Who are the conspirators here? Who funds these organizations? Who has given these organizations political freedom?
එහෙමනම් මේක කුමන්ත්‍රණේ කවුද ඉන්නේ? මේක පිටිපස්සේ ඉන්නේ කවුද? මේ සංවිධාන වලට සල්ලි දෙන්නේ කවුද? මේ සංවිධාන වලට දේශපාලන නිදහස දීලා තියෙන්නේ කවුද?
You're watching News First, and up next is a look at Action TV.
In 1956, Parna Eluwankulama, which lies along the Putlam Manor Road, became a settlement. The expansion of the settlement was limited due to the fact that many people left the village as a result of the war. Many people who returned following the end of the war have deserted the village, and today there are only 75 families who call Parna Eluwankulama home. In addition to the end of the war, there is another factor which keeps people away from this area. Even when 7 adjacent villages do not experience rain, the residents of Parna Eluwankulama are made to move to welfare centres from time to time. Although they spend much of the year in camps, they are not considered displaced people. This is because they are admitted to the camps as people who have had access roads cut off and not as people who have been displaced. In 1962, the government built an access road to the Parna Eluwankulama settlement. The road included a culvert. The culvert, intended to drain rainwater from the road, does not carry out this function today. This is because the moment the spill gates of the Rajangane reservoir are opened, the Kala Oya breaks its banks and flows across the access road to Parna Eluwankulama.
When
the spill gates of the Rajangane reservoir open every December, Parna Eluwankulama is inundated. Therefore, it is difficult for those residing in Parna Eluwankulama to travel from one place to another.
The culvert built 51 years ago only has a circumference of 2 meters for all this water to flow out. Even when the spill gates of the Rajangane reservoir are closed, this culvert has been inundated due to heavy rains experienced in the last 3 months and has also sunk as a result.
Children can't go to school for several weeks. We need a boat to travel.
Given
that the villagers have to resort to the use of boats, it is clear that this culvert is outdated. Therefore, shouldn't steps be taken to construct a proper bridge? Chairman of the Putlam District Development Coordination Committee, this one is over to you.
A special audit inquiry has commenced into an incident where dairy cattle have been imported to the country by the officials of the Ministry of Livestock disregarding cabinet instructions. Auditor General H.A.S. Samaravira said that information has come to light that the dairy cows have been imported by disregarding cabinet instructions to initially import 500 dairy cows as a pilot venture.
The
Ministry of Livestock has imported between 1,500 to 2,000 dairy cows from Australia. According to information that we have received, the Cabinet has granted approval to initially import 500 dairy cows as a pilot venture before importing the remaining cattle. It is reported that all the dairy cows had been imported at once.